All right, we got all kinds of stuff to talk about today. We are reacting to Christian McCaffrey getting the Offensive Player of the Year award, as well as Patrick Willis finally getting into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And on top of that, today was the final day of player media availability. So we're going to talk about what we heard from the players in the press conference, talk about more additional interviews that we got on Radio Row, and we're going to talk and react to all that stuff right now. So you guys already know what to do. Drop an SDS in the chat, smash that like button. Let's get it. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it. All right, what is good, everybody? We are reacting to Christian McCaffrey getting Offensive Player of the Year and Patrick Mahomes. Oh, no! Patrick Willis getting inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Long overdue. So we're going to talk about all that stuff. We're going to react to it. We're going to react to some other good stuff. We're going to talk about final media availability at practice today, all that good stuff. Let's talk about Christian McCaffrey, first of all, getting the Offensive Player of the Year award. I don't think any one of us are really surprised by any of this. I think we were anticipating and expecting Christian McCaffrey to get this award. I mean, Christian absolutely deserving of this. What a phenomenal season. Over 2,000 scrimmage yards. He didn't even play in the final game of the season. So absolutely deserving of it all. So good for CMC for getting Offensive Player of the Year. Now, obviously, we're also reacting to who didn't get the MVP award. So we know Lamar Jackson won the MVP, and that means neither Brock Purdy or CMC was able to get that. And we also have seen where they have placed in voting. So Christian McCaffrey finished third in MVP voting. Brock Purdy finished fourth in MVP voting. Dak Prescott finished ahead of both of them. Listen, I think we all knew that it was going to go to Lamar Jackson. We knew what it was. That Christmas night matchup against the Ravens, that was the optics game. That was the deciding factor. We talked about it all week. We all knew it, and it's exactly how it played out, right? Lamar had the better day in the office, and that was the nail in the coffin for him getting offensive, or should I say MVP. But yeah, Dak Prescott getting voted above CMC and Brock Purdy, it's ridiculous. Come on, what are we doing now? But again, my biggest thing, I guess, is although the accolades are a great thing, and we would love to have Brock Purdy or Christian McCaffrey come away with the MVP award. It is good. It's awesome that CMC was able to get Offensive Player of the Year after the 49ers just traded for him last season. And what he's been able to do with the San Francisco 49ers has been absolutely remarkable. So it's been a good situation, at least in the terms of what Christian McCaffrey has been able to do. But yeah, no MVP, but I think what we all really care about is this team winning the Super Bowl. So I really do believe that regardless of it all, I would say um I would say from a fan perspective that yeah, it would have been cool for one of those guys to get the MVP, but let's be real. We want the ring. That's what we really want. And we are one step closer to that. Patrick Willis headed to Canton, um, extremely deserving. Took took long enough, right? Took long enough for Patrick Willis to get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but extremely happy and excited for Patrick Willis to be able to finally get in. Um, it's funny, the first 49ers jersey that I ever purchased with my, the money that I made from my paycheck, my first paycheck, was a Patrick Willis jersey. I love Patrick Willis. He's just a, when I think of 49er players, I think of guys like Frank Gore, especially from that kind of like Harbaugh era. I definitely like Patrick Willis is at the top. Frank Gore. You think of those types of guys that just embody what it meant to be a 49ers player. So super happy for Patrick Willis to get in. 49ers throwback says, let's effing go. Let's not forget Brock and CMC won FedEx Player of the Year. That's true. Both Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey won the FedEx Air and Ground Player of the Years. So they did get those accolades, which was nice. But hey, like we talked about, there's one accolade that matters the most, and that is getting the Super Bowl ring. So, it's not like CMC didn't get any um, you know, love or anything like that. And so happy for him. And the best thing with Brock Purdy, man, he's 24 years old. So I fully expect Brock, to only continue to improve and get better as he matures and gets older. Obviously, this game coming up on Sunday is absolutely huge, for everything 49ers related, as we know. But whoo, are you guys starting to it's starting to hit me now that no more team availability. So we met with the 49ers players again today. We heard from Kyle Shanahan. George Kittle, Eric Armstead are absolutely playing in the Super Bowl. So I think we all knew that, but we didn't know because George Kittle missed practice last week. He was limited this week. I think, the thought was that he was going to play. It wasn't going to be an issue. And he even said so himself. But we got the official word that he's good to go. And I'm looking forward to getting the boys ready. Brett on YouTube says, same here. Patrick Willis was the first jersey I purchased as well. So, hey, man, very excited for Patrick Willis. Well deserving. About dang time that we got him in. I even think the 49ers tweeted about damn time from their Twitter account. Straight savages. But they ain't lying. No lie detected. Took a while for that to happen. But man, very, very excited about it. I think, who's really excited right now? I think the 49ers players are very excited to not have to talk to media anymore. As you guys know, this was my first experience being able to get up close and personal with these guys in this type of environment. And I can see firsthand how the whole media portion of this Super Bowl thing could be really exhausting and draining. Um, and just, you could definitely tell that some guys were absolutely over answering questions. Um, I think, when you open the door to everyone to ask these 49ers players questions, you just get some interesting questions. You get some interesting uh we got some interesting questions today. Again, and hey man, I think they're pleased. They're very happy for this whole media thing to be over with. So now the 49ers have Friday and Saturday to themselves. No media obligations, from my understanding. So they'll be able to not have to deal with that anymore. So that will be a good thing, and hopefully they can just start focusing on the game again, because this whole week has just been a lot of distractions. Even today, apparently the big news story, not the big news story, but like one of the big talking points today was about how the fire alarm went off at 6 o'clock in the morning, and everyone had to get out of bed, and they had to do the whole fire drill, and they literally had to leave their rooms. Um, and so that was a huge talking point today. The fields, like, I mean, it's been quite the ride for these 49ers players, man. There's been a lot of distractions, the whole thing with the field. So it's gonna be a fascinating Super Bowl for sure. Um, so this one's gonna be crazy, man. This one is going to be crazy. But I would say my highlight of the day of who I spoke to was the combination of Luke Kuechly and Dre Greenlaw. Um, so when I was talking to Luke Kuechly today, Panthers linebacker, future Hall of Famer, uh, he's in that same category as Patrick Willis, um, in regards to what they've done, production, all those different types of things. And, of course, I'm going to ask Luke Kuechly about his thoughts on Fred Warner. And I was also going to ask him about his thoughts on Dre Greenlaw. I couldn't even get my question in on Dre Greenlaw. He called Fred Warner the perfect linebacker, and then he said, "You cannot talk about Fred Warner without Dre Greenlaw." And what I love most about what Luke Kuechly went on to say was he was talking about how much he respected Dre Greenlaw's game, how much Dre reminded him of his former teammate, um, and great linebacker Thomas. And I told Dre Greenlaw that, and Dre literally started like low key dancing. Like, Dre was so excited to hear that Luke Kuechly had awesome things to say about him. It was really cool to see Dre Greenlaw's reaction. I think we've only really seen Dre Greenlaw like not that often, honestly, in front of the media. And I remember watching Dre Greenlaw go on Fred Warner's podcast, The Warner House, and just listen to him talk for like an hour. And I was like, dang, this dude's great. I wish we could hear more of Dre. And it was cool to be able to like get in front of Dre and be able to share that information with him and then see his response to it. It was really cool. It was really cool. Like, I got a kick out of the fact that he got so much. He was talking about like how when he transitioned from safety to playing linebacker, um, Luke Kuechly and Thomas Davis were like the guys that he watched. Those were like his go-to. Like he's like, when I watch tape, I watch Luke Kuechly and I watched Thomas Davis, and I was like, so crazy, right? Crazy. Um, so that was really cool. I got a Brock Purdy question in. To be honest, it's really hard to ask Brock Purdy questions, I think, in that kind of format, because he's literally been asked every question 400 different times in 400 different ways. And it's like, I've heard one of the things with Brock is like, I've heard almost everything that he's been a part of. So I know what questions he's consistently asked. So, like, for me to ask Brock a question, I had to think of something that no one had asked before. But it's like, um, but it's like, oh, what do I ask this guy that he hasn't been asked before? So I don't know. I haven't heard him, talk about that moment, that moment where he was supposed to get surgery and had to delay it. And he talked previously about how frustrating that was for him. So I just kind of brought it full circle. I just wanted to tie the two things together. Like, man, you started this journey to the Super Bowl having to push back your surgery, having to delay your surgery, not just having to go through surgery in general, but he talked about it. He's like, my elbow was still inflamed and they had to push back the surgery. And he said, I was angry. I said, I don't have time. We need to get going now. So it's just crazy, you know, and just how he had openly talked about how angry he was about that whole situation, and how, man, now he's playing in the Super Bowl. Now he's the starting quarterback in the Super Bowl, after all the adversity that he had to deal with early on, and just sitting there at that podium now. So, I mean, I would love to talk to Brock in a much different setting. Um, I think it's just it's crazy because everyone wants a piece of Brock right now. So it was it's a crazy environment. You talk about media circuses. That's, wherever Brock went, that's kind of what it felt like. So it's pretty crazy. Boxing fan says, "Is it true you were the one who hit the fire alarm?" Yes, I drove from my hotel 40 minutes out into the middle of the desert at 5 a.m. in the morning, and I did. Yes, you caught me. You caught me. You've got me figured out. If you think that I'm waking up at 4, 5 in the morning to go drive to the middle of nowhere to pull a fire alarm, and I know you're joking, boxing fan. I know you're joking. Um, but that's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, you never know. I am a Broncos fan, right? If you know, you know. If you know, you know. If you don't know, I don't want to hear any questions. If you don't know, I don't want to hear any questions about that. Um, so anyways, um, do I ever read my messages? No. Um, I get so many DMs. Um, it's extremely overwhelming. I try to get to some. I try to respond. as best I can. But you talk to anyone that knows me, man, I am the Jimmy Garoppolo of content creators when it comes to responding. I'm not very good. It's definitely something I need to get better with, but I am so freaking overwhelmed sometimes by all the messages that I get that my ADHD can't handle it. Also, too, one of the crazy things of having the ADHD is I'll get a message, and before I can even respond to it, I get distracted by something else, and then I forget the message ever happened. Um, so it's a situation. We're working on it. We're working on it. Like literally, the amount of messages that I received after each playoff game just blows out. Like there's so many. There's so many. It's very difficult. I try though. I try my best. I try, but yeah, my DMs are a landmine. Like I tell people, they're like, "How can I get a hold of you?" I'm like, "You can try DMing me, but it's no guarantee that I'm going to see it." But man, one thing that I do want to say is there are insane amounts of 49er fans here. Hey, I don't mind the messages. I just there's a good chance I might not see them. You can try. You never know. That's why if you ever get like a DM back from me or like a response from me, like that's pretty I got family members. I got family members banging down my door to respond. I'm just like I'm trying my hardest. I'm fighting for my life out here. I'm in a sea of notifications. The amount of notifications I get a day is unreal. Is absolutely unreal. But we move. We move. I think what I was going to say was there are a ton of 49er fans here. Need an assistant? Dude, I need a whole staff. I'm at the point where I need a whole staff. I need a video editor. I need a social media coordinator. I need an executive assistant to manage emails and DMs and requests. I need uh I need an entire staff. Literally, I am at the point where I need an entire staff to do what I'm doing. I'm so spread thin when it comes to all of this, the social media, the YouTube, the lives, the sponsorships, the coordination. Dude, it is crazy. So, hey, I'll say this. Obviously, we're in the middle of the season, or we're at the end of the season. We're about to have the Super Bowl. But there is a good chance. There's a good chance I might be trying to build out a team, build out like a legitimate back end team heading into next season. So hey, I'm just putting it out there. And because there's no way. Like if you guys been following me on YouTube, you're probably like, why isn't Brad posting? Because I'm literally boots on the ground, just I've got so much content that I can't even post it all. I have probably 20 interviews in the chamber that I haven't posted because I don't have time to edit them and get them posted. I still have more content coming. At least Friday and Saturday. I'm still going to have a steady stream of content, but I'll still be on Radio Row tomorrow getting more content. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. I might need some help here coming up. What blackjack table are you meeting me at this weekend? I don't know. I'm down to play some blackjack. I'm not gonna lie. I played a little bit of blackjack last night. I'm not a gambler at all. And I lost some money, but I was totally prepared to lose that money, so I'm perfectly fine with it. I'm not a gambler. Ugh. How do you apply? If I do it, I'll put out a posting. I'll put out a listing. But like I said, honestly, I would say the timing would probably come after the draft. So that, because part of it too is, if we are building a team, I want to be able to troubleshoot work processes before the season starts. So I don't want to just like hire a bunch of people or bring a bunch of people on and then we're like, all right, week 1. We would have to go through a vetting process. We'd have to go through workflow process. All those different types of things. So again, I'm just saying it out loud just because that's how I feel, but it could be a real thing coming up. So we'll see. We'll see. I will say I appreciate all you guys. Appreciate all the support. Appreciate all the feedback, the comments. It's been a surreal week. So we'll see. We'll see. What other stuff? Yeah, I'll say that's about it. So no media availability tomorrow for the players. Last day of Radio Row. Saturday will be a chill day. I'll probably just be uploading all the interviews that I haven't uploaded. And then Sunday is the Super Bowl. Almost here. Oh boy. But that's going to be it for me tonight. I'm absolutely cooked from this weekend, this week. See, I can't even talk. Absolutely fried, but a good fried in the sense of put in a lot of hard work this week. And before, not talking about me, like one of the coolest parts about this is getting to talk to a lot of the guys that are doing the same thing as me. Talking to Stats and Levin, talking to Guy, talking to Larry, talking to Damon Bruce, talking to my guys at 95.7, my guys at KMBR, my guys at Sacktown Sports, meeting new connections. Like, man, everyone's out here grinding, and everyone there's so many guys out here that are absolutely killing it. and they deserve a lot of love too, man. So it's my guy. I didn't even mention, forgot my guy Chase Senior at Chat Sports. That dude's a powerhouse. There's a lot of great content creators out here, man. So it's been great networking event. Got to meet some really cool people. Got to talk to some really cool people. I was talking about this with Stats earlier. Like, I don't really get too starstruck. Like, I'm not a big starstruck kind of a person. Like when I went to talk to Luke Keeley, I love Luke Keeley. He's been a phenomenal, but it was no issue. However, I did see Troy Polamalu, and I was like, "Oh, that's Troy Polamalu." I got a little like, "Oh, that's Troy. That's Troy right there." So it happens. Steve, I saw Steve Young, got a little starstruck. Really cool to meet Baldy. That was awesome. But yeah, man, it's been a wild ride. So appreciate everyone who's been following along the journey. Appreciate all you guys' support, and I'm looking forward to just keep doing more content. I wish I could have brought you guys better content this week, and you guys have given me phenomenal support on my content, so that's not pandering at all. This has been a big learning week for me. I'm not at all where I want to be with like how to execute this week. Like, if I could do it again, I would do it much differently so that I could get you more content. I've probably got you like 20% of the content that I wanted to get you, and in the timely fashion and all those different types of things. So I appreciate everyone's kind words. I still got learning to do. I still have some things to work through. So this was a great experience for that. And I'm excited, though. That means if you liked what we did this week, and if we ever get these opportunities in the future, that just means that we're going to be able to provide better content moving forward. So appreciate all you guys. I'm out of here. And I don't know. We'll see what happens tonight, but appreciate all you guys. I'm out of here for now. Appreciate y'all. Peace. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see you.